Secret shortcuts of America, secret template, the entire formula to start making $1 million per year. I'll start talking about it today. I'm going to talk in English. Interestingly, I don't know why I was somewhere and I came in contact with two young boys, and one of the guys just asked me what you do, and I started telling that we just started talking about immigration, and we started, I don't know why, because there are a lot of immigration things going on, and then I started talking about how to make $1 million per year. Yes. And he was like, you have a formula? And I was like, yes, I do. I do have a formula. And I'm gonna talk about my formula with everybody today and share with you. And I have talked about the same formula on and off in bits and pieces everywhere. But today I'm gonna talk about this formula in as much detail as possible, in as much detail as I would remember, and I have all the time in the world. I'm coming from gym and I'm going back home, and I don't have to really be there on time. When I was going to gym, I had to be there on time, but now that gym is closed and I'm going back home, I can go there even half an hour later. So let's start the formula discussion. So first part of the formula for American Indians is resolve the visa issue, and EB5 investor visa is the best visa for them. That is the best choice. It instantly works. People, I've mentioned the entire thing that there are builders who are ready to give loans. It's not 800,000 you would need as little as 100,000 upfront, or sometimes even just 100 or maybe 160k upfront. As little as 100k upfront may also work. If you have right connections, you may be able to get by paying just the fees, which is like 10 for 15 20,000 dollars, and then you get 1.5 years to pay, and then you get half of that amount as loan, like 400k loan, and the rest 300k, or in case of 160 to 40k, you can get somehow, you can earn during that 1.5 years. And I've mentioned that how to do that. I have mentioned everywhere. Okay, I'll just say it here. On H1, you can do only work with one employer, one job. But on this thing, you can work on weekends. On investor visa here, you can work on in the evenings, during the day. You're not restricted to any employer, so you can work with 2 to 3 employers as well. So you can earn more money for 1.5 years, and then you can get your visa problem sorted. You will get GCEAD, right? Which is the small cousin of GC. And then there is a bit of a wait for GC, but that's fine. You're making money. Once you pay off your 240k, then only 400k is left, and that you can pay in a sweet time. And that's my formula. I already told you multiple times. Now I'm going to talk about what do you do as a business. Many people ask me this question: so I'm going to talk about insurance agency as an example, and that is something that I'm actually trying to get into. I'm hoping to create another $1 million cash flow with that. I don't $1 million. When there's a million, it means 500k to 1 million. It's up to you to take it. You'll be able to easily make around 700k, 800k. You may see a bottleneck around 1 million, but then you may be able to cross that also. Let's talk about the entire formula one by one. First is, I checked there are certain certifications, 20-hour courses, 40-hour courses you have to take and become an insurance agent. If I were you, I would become a life insurance agent, property and casualty, as well as automotive, as well as home insurance. Every kind of insurance I'll try to get the certification of, and I will become an insurance agent. Becoming an insurance agent, I'm pretty positive that there are easy ways to make 100k per year if you become an insurance agent, by selling actively and buying the leads and selling to them and things like that. Do that, and you can start making $100,000 a year. And this is where most of the Americans stop. And this is now, okay, by the way, this formula that I'm today saying, this is for American citizens and green card holders who are here, and they keep asking me, what's your $1 million formula? And as I ran into two teenagers, no, not teenagers, like adolescent kids, and they were really curious. And one of the guys, have even subscribed to the channel. I liked it. Thank you, brother. Okay, so this inspired me to say something to the American masses, and about how to make $1 million a year. So using the insurance agent, get into some service business which does not require real estate. In America, this kind of business works well. No real estate requirement. Even if the real estate is required, you or the sales force does not need to be there. So don't get into automotive industry, because then you have to be there. Don't get into real estate agency because all the real estate agents have to be certified. That has its own certainty, but that's not the $1 million formula, easy $1 million formula that I'm talking about. The really easy $1 million formula is what I'm going to be talking about. How many real estate brokers make that kind of money, even though they are here? And there may be many who are making more than $1 million, maybe much more than that, but that's not the formula that everybody can follow. They have something hiding up their sleeve that they don't tell you. I'm going to talk about a simple formula. It should be a service-based business which can be done from anywhere. That's the key thing. It should be a service-based business that can be done from anywhere. For example, insurance agency, right? So in insurance agency, the typical sales cycle, so you can easily make 100K a year. So do that for 6 months and reach a level of say $8,000 to $9,000 per month per person. If you two husband and wife are doing it, then they need to make more. So I will just talk from one person's standpoint from now onwards, so that you know that if your entire family, you, husband, wife, everybody's involved and you're making only 100K, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about $100,000 per year. So if you're married, you start making $200,000 per year. Okay, so right there is a $1 million formula. Yeah, sorry, I forgot. Yeah, if you're not married, you'll make half. If you're married, you'll make double, and that's what now it becomes $1 million. Remember, I said that it will be 500,000, 1 million. Now that I take that back. Yeah, it will be confirmedly $1 million because you and your wife both are there, right? So now you have a $200,000 a year formula, and maybe 150K or maybe 175K formula, right? Right? Anybody would make that? Anybody would agree? Anybody would agree to this, that it's very easy to make 150K in America by being proactive in the insurance, right? You can do medical billing also. You'll make the same number, right? So in medical billing, you'll probably make like maybe 120K a year, both husband and wife together. So any service-based business, right? I'm coming to second part. Once you learn the skills, this is very important. This is really important. You are the one who's going to be doing. You are the engine. You'll always stay the engine. In the $1 million also, you'll stay the engine. Nobody else would be able to replace you, and that's the key. And that's the thing. Nobody else would need guidance from you. So you have to understand the integrities. You have to continue to sell your 150, 200K worth of business every single year. And now I'm going to tell you the next stage. Next stage is you find a freelancer in India or Pakistan. Now that's a key thing. People say, oh, virtual assistant. No, not virtual assistant. Because when you start making $1 million a year, you'll kill yourself. Because I told you about ATMA problem or DUR-ATMA problem. So Atma and Duratma problem. I call it Atma and Duratma problem. Right? And Bakasur problem, BKSR problem. B stands for utensils. You have to clean utensils every day. K stands for clothes. It's basically kapade in Hindi. So clothes, BKSR. S is cleaning. You have to do cleaning of the house. R, food. You have to cook food every day. So I call it Bakasur problem, BKSR problem, which is in Hindi, that's the first word starts, utensils start with B, clothes start with K, and cleaning starts with S, and rotiyan starts with, and food starts with R. So Bakasur problem. So there is a Bakasur problem. It's not much. You're 19 years old, but it's gonna be very big. So you have to find a solution today. Okay, you have to find a solution today. Right? Bakasur problem. Other ones are Atma and Duratma problem. You'll listen to that in many times in my videos. It's ATMA Atma and DRATMA Duratma. Okay? A is you will not find an assistant in America. You'll have to do the work yourself. T is you cannot find a sales team in America. It's very costly to have a sales team. M, you will not have a person to manage the things, right? The last is accountant. You can find an accountant, but he's a CPA. He does accounting, but you need to prepare sheets and sheets for him. My wife does it, so I know what I'm talking about. If you can talk to any business owner and tell him, hey, do you do anything in accounting? Because you have an accountant, a CPA working with you on taxation and everything. He files taxes and does so many things, good things. But then you have to give him the sheets. You have to maintain your own accounts, right? So in-house accountant is very important. Accountant doesn't, CPA doesn't do all that. Duratma. D, driving. Look, $1 million a year, I'm still driving. R, research. You have to do a lot of research. These days, because of ChatGPT, things have become very easy. Because ChatGPT research has become easy. So that's part of the formulas. But anyway, for now, I'll stick with research. You still have to do on your own. You have to have that understanding. So if there is an insurance issue and you then related to customer service or something, you have to be able to do the research. So someone has to do the research. This research is something that is very important to your success, because you will be doing all these high level items when you have $1 million worth of sales coming in. Sales of $1 million doesn't mean profit of $1 million. I'm talking about $1 million profit, 5 to 600K, 700K profit per head. So husband and wife together will make 1 million plus. That is what I'm talking about. I'm coming to the entire formula. Okay. Then the next DRA. Next one is T stands for technical person. You need a technical person. You let's say there is a team of 10 people sitting there in India or anywhere, and then you're coordinating their sales, and then while coordination you're using tools like maybe Notion or Slack or Teams, and off and on you have to do something like something is hanging, something the phone is not working, something this is not working, user ID password has to be reset or something. So all these things are handled by the technical person. When you're making $1 million in sale, to be able to make $1 million in profit, you need to have a big sale, maybe $3 to $4 million in sale. So for that kind of a business, you need a proper technical person. Then M is menial labor. I've seen the CEO of a $20 million company changing the water bottle. I'm not saying it because I think it's kind of a menial, but the point is someone has to do it. Someone has to spend time on it. And if you are having $4 million worth of sales, then you need to do something about it, right? Right? Then last one is analysis. You have to do all the analysis yourself. Research goes with research. The first A was also something I'm forgetting. That's fine. So remember DRATMA, accountant, assistant, analysis. There's one more I. That's fine. So you have to do all these things in America. Even for your personal life, you must have seen it yet that you are the one who does it. You want to get the tax file, you have to collect all the bank statements and everything and feed it into the taxation system, right? If you're doing it even yourself, let's say you ask the CPA, he's not going to pull the statements out for you. You're going to do all the work, collect everything, jibe everything, and then give it to him, right? It takes time and hours of work. Anyway, so let's not overemphasize on Atma Duratma. We understand that there is an Atma problem, there's a Duratma problem in this country, right? When you have kids, there is a pick and drop of kids, pick from activities, from school, from so many places, and getting family time with them. That's the reason many people are not able to do very well once the kids start. Kids are important. I'm for it as part of my formula. My formula is actually a 100-point formula, but I'm truncating because my formula is a complete success formula. There are things around maintaining the health and maintaining the family life and everything. But I'm going to talk about the secret shortcut, which basically helps you make $1 million per year. You're already at $200,000 a year, or 150 plus $150 to $200,000 a year. It's a service-based business, and insurance agency seems to be the perfect match. Next one is you hire a guy in India. So that's why I started telling you about Atma Duratma, and that guy should be either having, like I can tell you the entire formula. Go to a website called upwork.com, find an accountant from Pakistan who has not been able to complete his CA, but who has cleared maybe half the exams. Or find a technical guy who has worked for top 10 companies or 15 companies of Pakistan. You should do ChatGPT research and find out what are the top 15 companies, and their profile, LinkedIn profile should show that. In India also, if the person has worked for top 150 IT services company, 150 companies by revenue, he would be professional. So you need a professional person who has professional background, and you should insist on seeing the LinkedIn as well. So the person must be having a LinkedIn profile and must have worked at some point of time in these things. There are people out there who have been freelancers all their life. They are not very good to you. They're good. They're not very useful to you. You need people who are professional before. Maybe they are a freelancer now. Things like that. At least 30, 32 years of age. If possible, with kids. If possible, married with kids, or even if not, then anything will work. I have 2 people like this, and they both are not married, so it works, right? Okay, but maturity is important. If you hire anything younger than that, 26, 27, it won't work. Okay, in Upwork there are filters around 10 who has made more than $10,000. Go for someone who has at least make $5,000 or $3,000 plus, right? Don't go for top rated seller. They are hardcore freelancers. You don't know what they are thinking. They may not be interested in doing a freelance work for you. They may be interested in, they'll take you your job. So basically, you have to hire an assistant as part of the formula. In summary, that assistant, that person, I call him not assistant, I call him, for lack of a better word, I call him CEO. He is the one who will be basically working hand in hand with you. You have to hire a CEO, right? So that's where a lot of people make mistake. They think of the person as virtual assistant, whereas he is basically at minimum, he is the executive project director or executive project manager, or maybe even CEO. So think of the CEO mentality. Think of the person as a CEO mentality who can take care of the in charge of the entire process end to end. And he will be your manager also. And he'll be your sales team also. And he'll be your first salesperson. And insist on having just one person. One person for you, one person for your wife. Two people. Management theory says you can easily manage 5 people. You can manage okayly plus okay easily means like on a level. You can manage 5 people quite well. Let's say this way, even with the effort. And you can manage 3 people really effectively. But you can manage one person very effectively and choose him and gauge his interest and everything. If a person is a professional and is not really doing very well, you can see that you asked him to do something, he didn't do it, let him go. Trust me, it's very easy to find people in Pakistan. Also, be open to that option. Pakistan is number 2 in the freelance industry, and they're really good people. UAE has a lot of companies which basically provide freelancers from Pakistan and India. You can work with them. I work with one of them. And but anyway, you can find a freelancer who will work hand in hand. You train him in technical aspects of your business, maintaining user IDs, passwords, right? Remember, we need a professional who's made $3,000 as well as who was a professional before. So you need a person and you hire him on salary basis. You're making 150K, right? $1,000 a month. Be ready to sacrifice $1,000 a month, right? Hire him at $700, promise him to make it $900 a month. After 1 year, after 2 years, maybe 100,000, 1,200, then 1,500 after 4th year. And by the 4th year, he'll be a ball of fire and he'll be producing results. He'll be producing results in 2 months itself. You are already, in your business, there are 2 types of projects which are very easy to get, which generate revenue, and the ones which don't generate revenue. Out of both, prefer the generating revenue, which are measurable work. Like, for example, he should collect this thing from there, this thing, that, use it as a criteria to see whether he does that or not, whether he has troubleshooting skills, whether he has energy, high energy or not. You need a high energy person for sure. If a person has made $3,000, his ethics, if he has worked for a professional, his ethics, professionalism will be good. If he's 30 to 32 years of age, to determine his 30 to 32 years of age, insist on seeing their Aadhaar card or CNIC card, but they can fudge it. Yeah, that's the problem you'll face, right? So you need to insist to see their LinkedIn record, and if, on the LinkedIn they must have mentioned some employers in the past. So be ready to call them and find out from them. Go to the website to get the link. There is a good person out there who's looking for you, and you are looking for a good person to work with you, and there is a good person looking for a good client to work with. So remember to find that guy. Be polite and professional. Even if the other person is not professional, be professional with them. Let them go in a professional manner, even if they are not professional, because they will try. In India and Pakistan, there are a lot of people who will try everything to get your job. Don't just give it away. Give it to people who you can work hand in hand with. Make sure they are mature. Make sure they're mature. If possible, they are from a tier 1 city like Karachi, Lahore, Delhi, Madras, Kolkata, Bombay. Like some city, because that's where they are high energy. But the problem is, then they cannot survive in this much money, so they need more money. So in India, I'm ready to go to tier 2 cities, but don't go to tier 2 cities in Pakistan. Tier 2 cities are Sargodha, Bahawalpur. Don't hire from them. If a person is from Sargodha or Bahawalpur, don't hire. I've worked with them and they really don't work. It doesn't work out eventually, because the cost of living is so less, they don't really need money. They don't really need money, so they would leave job in a jiffy without thinking, without warning, right? Okay, in Pakistan, if you want, you can hire a technically qualified person. like Bachelor of Engineering, like they have a BS Engineering. Find out what is the top 20 universities and find from one of those in Pakistan, top 20 in Pakistan. In India, typically hiring from an engineering college does not work. You need to hire someone again who was a CA aspirant. In Pakistan also there is a CA aspirant. So you need to. These are the things you should look for because that gives you certain level of intelligence. That is very important. I mentioned 3 4 things before, and now this is one more. Intelligence is needed. I have a pipe question test somewhere on my channel. You can look for it. Pipe question test. It's a simple question. There are 5 houses. If the house is moved, how much pipe is needed? You can then actually it's on, I think, some I don't know where it is. It's on some of the channel, one of the channels. You can ask it on the channel itself, if you want, and I will give you. There are recordings, and you can learn how do I do the pipe question test. This is very helpful in determining whether the person has imagination and he is intelligent enough or not. His basically analytical skills. So those are really key for me, and I and with the like, if you listen to 2 3 sessions, you'll understand how I'm doing that pipe question. Ask simple questions. There are 5 houses. You can see that. I ask, this house is moved and all that stuff, and then how I see whether people are able to basically, understand the context. Anyway, so these are some of the important things. $1,000 per month. You have to do career road mapping. You have to give a measurable project to determine a 1 day measurable project to determine whether the guy is going to do it or not. Right? You need a person who's ready to work, not from Monday to Friday, who's ready to work anytime, who's ready to work with you. Be ready to pay instead of $1,000 the first time for per month, first time, and then $1,200 per month, and then $1,500. But it doesn't matter because you're making 150K. You, a husband and wife combined, you guys can easily find someone. But don't get an assistant, virtual assistant. It's a data entry mentality. We are not talking about data entry because this guy, if he's intelligent, he will find data entry people for you and decrease your Atma Duratma problem. In Atma Duratma, the M stands for management. So your management issues he'll remove, and that's key before you can move ahead from 150K, right? Because in America, that is the biggest issue. Bakasur problem and Atma Duratma problem and PDA, pick and drop PDK problem, pick and drop of kids problem. For family, for activities, for things, right? So these are the issues in America, right? Right. So if you don't address these issues early on, you will be basically, and by the way, guys, this is kind of a skill. It's kind of a skill. I have to admit, it's kind of a skill you'll acquire over time. It's not going to come out of in the first day. You're making 150K or maybe 100K if you're alone, and you're trying to find a guy in your Pakistan right now to go to the second stage. If you are able to find 2 people, one for husband, one for wife, you will be able to increase your profit by twice. Yeah, as much as twice. So you'll basically start making 300K, 350K per year, right? So this is the main thing. I call it CPO formula. You may see it in very various places as CPA formula of mine. Yeah, you may see it as CPA formula, and CPO formula, CEO process outsourcing. Don't have the mindset of assistant process outsourcing. That is not a good mindset. You need a CEO, a person who thinks like a CEO, who runs it like his own company, and who runs it like there is no tomorrow. You can create some kind of incentive structure, but that doesn't work sometimes. Okay, there are 2 flavors. I've worked with both the flavors. In the other one, I gave him 10% of the profit, not of the sales. Remember that, gross profit. Right, that is very important. 5 to 10% of the gross profit you can work with. 5%, 3%, 6%, 7%. All are options. Don't go from 5 to 10. Start from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That will really work. That will really work. And you can give him targets because you're giving him a good salary. You can give him targets that, okay, if I'm making 200K, 150, my target is, with your help, I want to reach 150K. So he will start with doing one thing. He will take ownership of many, like lead generation and handling the lead generation part. As an insurance agent, you're supposed to talk to customers, but he'll book the leads for you. He'll book the calls for you. He'll book so many things for you. My technical guy even does, let's say, there's a new AI tool in the market which basically, says, they claim that they can book the calls for you. You know what my guy does? He basically does research. He researches too. He evaluates that AI tool. He's that intelligent. You need an intelligent person. So I would say, in my mind, I have hired 2 people One is accountant background, the other one is technical background, right? Technical person can work as accountant also, and accountant person can easily learn technical work as well, because we're not talking about really high-fi, we're not talking about very extremely difficult work. But in my mind, I will go with technical first and accountant later. If I have a choice, if I can hire only one person. So hire two people, and you'll be able to increase your sales by because they will handle all your menial tasks, all your extra tasks, management tasks, evaluation tasks, research tasks, and they may even book leads for you. They will do so many different things for you. They not may even, that's what you will ask them. You have to understand the process of yours really well, and you will be able to break it into pieces and see what they can do. I basically, I have a process part of it, on my Slack channel. When I post something, it has to be copied somewhere else. Okay, and then they do all these things too. They do. Okay, another thing I do is, because they are really smart people, now that they have worked with me so heavily, I've given them one assistant each at $150 per month. So any of the tedious tasks that they had are done by that girl. Actually, I've them given each. I have given the total one. So one is left. So basically, I would give them one each, but the one is left, so one is there, still there. So that is the idea. So this increases their productivity too, right? So a lot of menial tasks, like let's say you have to collect the leads from somewhere, and you know that it takes time. Let's say go to the web and do scraping. Teach it. Your technical guy will be able to teach her. Your technical will be able to understand that, get the know-how, how what to do, and then teach it. You will be able to reach 250K, 400K very easily. My business, the one IT staffing, the one that I run, it in this, one person can easily make 150 to 170K. Husband wife can easily make 350K. But with the help of the CPO process, they can make 700K, and that's what I easily reached. I've been consistently maintaining forever. How you go from 600, 700K to 1 million plus is the next step, right? So you are at the second step, and I talked a lot about second step, what kind of person you should find and what kind of mindset you should have. Acha, people who are from India or Pakistan, a huge warning: do not hire a relative in India. Yes. Do not hire a relative or anybody you know in India, a friend also. Do not hire a friend or a relative. Do not have any kind of partner in India. That is not part of my formula. That guy will work against you eventually. You need a guy who will work for you, with you, part of you. He is your alter ego. He's second Gaurav. My name is Gaurav, right? He's second Gaurav, and he's second Nidhi. He's Nidhi too and Gaurav too. You need a guy who has that mindset. So you need to evaluate a few people before you find that person. You're still making 150 to 200K in insurance agency, or in staffing agency, you're making 250 to 300K, right? I gave the entire OPTCPT formula a few days back, so you can listen to that and understand how to basically start the IT staffing firm of OPTCPT on OPTCPT model. So you need to understand that. Now I'm talking about scaling, so you can easily scale it and make 600K, 700K formula. Right now comes to the second, from second to third stage. This is where it gets tricky. You need to find salespeople. Remember, like if you wanna, like you do once yourself and then hire one more person, then your sales come double and then you profit. When you try to do it in America, your salespeople are very expensive. Very expensive. I'm in a business in which business development manager or sales guy can sit in India. There is no certification needed. There's no license needed. So they all sit in India. I have a sales team of about 4 people. Over a period of time, I made a sales team of 4 people. They all bring me 150K each. That's my formula. Third stage is hire people under that main guy, the CEO. Remember, okay. What I did is, I'll tell you my formula, how I started. The second and third stage were combined. I hired 10 people and started giving them responsibilities. Out of those 10 people, 3 people would complete the projects on time. I kept those 3 and let the 7 people go. I had 10 more people and did the same. I found 2 people this time. So total 5 people were there. And then I found 3, 4 more. And then I started seeing who gives me more productivity. Right? It took time. It didn't happen overnight. I was still making my 150K as an insurance agent or 300K as an IT staffing guy. It took time. It doesn't happen overnight, but it worked. Eventually, I found a guy who was senior. I made mistakes. That's what I'm giving the formula. You will make mistakes. You need my formula. Don't compromise on the quality of the people. 32-year-old gentleman, awesome. You need that kind of person. 34, 35-year-old person, awesome. You need that kind of person with a professional background from a professional company. Also, you can find from a company if we go to website or freelance websites and we find some freelancer minded person. Try to stay away from freelance minded person. If a person has made too much money as a freelancer, his mindset will always be freelancer mindset. You need a person who believes in working hand in hand with CEO and creating a career and believes in long-term career. Give that option. Another thing is, I think things will keep coming. I'll keep telling you about that person is the key. That CEO is the key. If you don't understand that you will make a lot of mistake. That CEO is the key to your success. Otherwise, you'll be working your entire life. By the way, now I don't do. I'm on the fourth stage. I don't do sales anymore. I have 4 or 5 people working. They all bring me. Remember, I said 150K. That was a part of the formula. In fourth stage, they all bring like 300K worth of business per year. They all get paid $1,000, $1,500 per month, 25K per year, and they're bringing me a lot of business. I'm sitting at 130, 1.3, $1.5 million profit every single year. When I say they bring in 150K, that's not sale. Sale is more profit. I'm only talking about profit here. A lot of my formula in a lot of my videos, I talk about how people try to pass their revenue as their profit. That's not good. That's not good. That's not you should ever do that. You'd basically be fooling yourself. Don't do that. That's like stupidity. So in my case, BDMs come into picture. How will you not get the BDMs in case of insurance agents? Right? Now, research is on in my side also, but I think there are people in America who do not have this. Like I'll tell you, first people who were in America and went back. So basically they may be certified, but I don't know whether they have to be physically present here or not. I'm not sure. That's where you need to do the research. So you need to find a profession in which the sales can be done from anywhere. Okay, that's very important. So and licensing requirements are not there. Certification requirements are there, but licensing requirements are not there. So they can get certified and then they can work from there. I sometimes work with AWS certified people. They work from India, right? I work with the business analyst certified. They work from India. I work with PMPs. They work from India. By the way, to find that freelancer, you can even go to rosie.pk or naukri.com, and there you can put the criteria. The person should have 12 years of experience, and as a call center professional, and he must have worked for and look for companies like again top 20, top 10 companies, and then see whether they work for those companies. They will be professional. Otherwise, they may not be professional. That's very important, right? In India, formula is a little different. In India, basically professional people are in proper jobs in IT companies and all that. In Pakistan, you can find a professional person in top 20 any software company, or as I said, in accounting also. So formula is a little different. So play with the system a little bit of hiring, firing, and then you'll be able to find. Eventually, you need to find. I found 5 people, and that's how I work. Yeah, I had 3 people before from India, and I made mistakes. I don't know how I let them. They went out of my hand, but then I again because I had the formula, so I made the team again. Right. So that's the fourth stage. As you can see, the key is to find people, and key is to be in a business, service-based business, which doesn't require presence here. Insurance agency. Like my insurance, basically, how did I come to know? My insurance agent was always on the phone. He had never met me. He just once he did a video call and he sold me something over the phone. Yeah. And my CPA also does that. My CA also does that. My one of the guys, a CA, also does it, but then he has to be CPA and he has to be certified and licensed in America, and he has to be in America to be able to do that. So that will not work. Otherwise, I would have done that. My brokerage, my broker, the Charles Schwab guy who I meet with, like my wife meets with him actually more than I do. So, but then he needs to be certified and be licensed, and he has to be working for a licensed company and all that. Same for real estate agent. Real estate agent also has to be licensed and certified and be physically present and be able to work and receive wages. And he should be working for a brokerage which is also owned by a citizen. So basically, it will never work. Find businesses in which a person can be anywhere. And licensing requirements are not there. Certification requirements are there. That would be fine. The person can get the certification and then he can work from India. Medical billing. There's no license for it, but a person can work. Yep. There's so many other things. Keep finding more and more, and then you'll be able to see that this formula works. You need to find people in India who can do the work. That is the main, that's a key step. If you don't know how to find these people and keep thinking in your mind, he's an assistant, like people have very poor mentality. I mean, I'm sorry, but one of my friends, I introduced them to one of my like as I said, I call them directors, and they are really senior people. They're smart people. They're very professional. And my friend was like, you I don't like this thing. Why do you talk about people like in a condescending manner? They are the people who will change your life. They make money for you. They sweat. They work hard, and I don't know how you can. So don't do that. And they're not assistants. Don't call them VA, virtual assistants, or executive assistants, or PA, personal assistant. No. I had a personal assistant. She could not speak English. She didn't have a sense of ownership. She could not compose. Yeah. Have some respect, guys. Anyway, so you need to basically find people, and that is the main skill that I bring to the table, right? SOP management. I use a tool called Notion for SOP management. Task management. I did a lot of research in determining when there are 6 people working and how do you do the coordination with them. I'll tell you the coordination thing. You would need WhatsApp. I make groups with every single client with my team. All 6 of them, me and my wife in the group with everybody. Separate groups, right? We have 3,000 groups now, just to give you an idea. And just as someone talks in some group, they answer. I watch. So this is WhatsApp. What WhatsApp is very hard to track. You can label in WhatsApp business and that will work for you and you can start, but then that is still not something that will work. That is okay. You need Slack for internal communication with your team. You need Notion for task management. You need, for SOP management, you need Notion. I have Notion. You need a CRM to track sales and service. That is also in Notion. I've made it in Notion. You can hire someone to do all this work in Notion for $1,000, $1,500 or so. Your technical guy could do it too. Actually, my first guy who I hired was basically I wanted to get some technical work done. I went to freelance. I went to Upwork.com and found a guy and then gave him the project. And I started liking him so much, he became a friend of mine. Then I asked him, "Hey, why don't you join me full time?" And he joined me full time, and that's how I started. My first guy he became a good friend. He was very intelligent, technically qualified, very intelligent, and it was fun to talk to him. And eventually, he started selling also. Yep. I offered him, "Hey, why don't you work with me?" He told me at some time he was making hardly $400 a month. I offered him $700 per month, and he started working with me. And then I started giving him raises. Yep. So basically, you need to find projects which are measurable in delivery and everything, give it to a few people and see how they work, and that's how you work. And something ongoing, that is very important, because otherwise you'll be giving the same project. I don't know how it will help you. You need to so the key is to find the person in India. I'm always as a rule looking for people who want to make it big in India. In India, it's very hard to make good running income by doing your own service-based business. It's not a job, it's a business, right? So you can think of it as a job or business, whatever you like. But basically, it's very hard to make a running income in tier 3 city or tier 2 city. In Pakistan, even in tier 1 city, it can be hard. So Karachi is one of the good choices. I like people from Karachi a lot. Lahore is also good, right? Karachi is also good. And Bombay is also good. I've found people from Nagpur. So tier 2 cities of India are really as good as Karachi and Lahore. So let's go for tier 2 cities. Chandigarh, where I'm from, Ludhiana, right? There are a lot of tier 2 cities. Tier 2 city means 20 lakh plus population, 2 million people plus, tier 2. Simple. So you can Google and see in the Chandigarh metropolitan area how many total people are there. If it's more than 2 million, that means it's a Cosmo. That means it's good enough for you. So yeah. So I'm giving all this credit. Write it down. These are strewn all around. It's not in one single shot. So this is right. So this will help you. Otherwise, you'll make mistakes. And then you'll be like, man, I'm not find a guy. Remember, I used to work and make money during the day, and in the evening, I used to spend time on finding the right guy to work with me. And eventually, after almost 1.5 years, I became a master of that. By then, I had already hired 25, 30 people and fired them. So be patient, guys. It works. Have a confidence that this guy will increase your productivity and profits by twice, by 100%. Once you find a guy and keep on repeating that, you will find some other kinks in the whole process. You keep removing those kinks and finally find a guy, find two people, one for you and one for your wife, and then eventually find three more people, and you'll work. If you're in a business, in insurance, I'm yet to the research whether the license is needed or not. I think it may be needed, so this may not work. But then there is another formula for the fourth step. You can find guys here who are basically like who have done, like, basically MBA people are like eligible for doing some management tasks. So depending on what they do, like depending on how you do that, they may be able to do sales or something, because they are doing business development management, right? So they may be able to do sales. You need to find out the right courses, and if you hire people of those MBAs, then OPD CPD offer them the minimum wage of your city, and they need to get minimum wage according to their course. So offer them that, and they'll work. And you need to be ready to file their visa, and you should be able to file their green card also. If you're ready to do that, you'll find an unlimited source of people who can work here. Get them certified, get them licensed, and they'll work for you. But this will not work for real estate license, because they have to be paid a certain wage every single month. So you can pay them a wage. Now you have to see, if you already have a CEO, technically qualified and accountancy qualified CEO, he has all these traits, right? I have two people, separate people. One is technical, the other one is accounting, but both people can do each other's job. So yeah, this is another thing I did, cross pollination. I cross skilled everybody, just to make sure they're back of everybody, because this happens. They one if a person wants to go for a 15-day holiday, then he gives the job to the other person, so he's doing the other task. And the second person wants to go on a holiday, then he'll give the task to the first person. Guys, be very reasonable, professional, reasonable, and extremely respectful. And guys, please remember, in India and Pakistan, culture is different. You have to understand that. You cannot say, I want the same American style. You know, I'm very lucky to have people who value time and everything, right? You have to learn from them as well. A person is gonna make 150K for you. You better learn. You better learn, buddy. Okay, you better learn. If you don't learn, then you're not doing the right thing, right? Learn their ways. Learn how they think. Learn what motivates them. Ask ChatGPT these questions. If ever some question comes to your mind, first ask ChatGPT. Ask ChatGPT cultural question also. What do people of Nagpur like? To give you something. Get some idea. Get started. Ask more questions, and you'll get even more ideas, right? Yeah. So I gave you so many new things to understand. This is my secret shortcut. This is pretty much the secret shortcut formula to make $1 million per year income. Get married. That's another formula, right? That's what I told you. You can make 500-600K, because after it starts to become unmanageable. So one of the things is, in America, every single profession has a profitability of 100 to 120 to 150K. In insurance agency, there are 2-3 levels. Like there are marketing companies, and there are this company, that company. You can open your insurance brokerage also very soon, right? So with this formula, you can easily scale your business. Many people do not know this thing. There is a guy on YouTube who basically says that he has a brokerage, he has 10 real estate agents working with him. He doesn't have the CPO with him. CEO process outsourcing. He doesn't understand that. He may be having a few virtual assistants, but he doesn't have proper CEOs who think for the company, who are like inside. Check how honest the people are. Value honesty. Value honesty. That is really very important too. ठीक है ना? So because you'll be really handing them a lot of things, leads and everything, they should be honest with you. So in my mind, I can tell you, I made a video very recently. Pakistan people are usually more honest. Professional people. Yeah, everywhere you have good and bad, but if you find, if you try hire 10 people, try 10 people of Pakistan, 2 or 3 will be honest. You'll feel that, right? Pakistan people have very interesting mentality. They have freelance mentality. They have not seen the full-time jobs, so they have that problem. But then this is their opportunity, this is their strong point. And then there is a weakness is they have this freelance mentality. They lose focus. They lose focus about end-to-end ownership of the whole process. So you need to you need to be very focused on finding a guy who's really doesn't have the freelance mentality. Freelance mentality is tell me what I should do and I will do it. People who take initiative, find ways to do things better in a better way, but have good analytical mind. I found a guy who was to take a lot of initiative, but his analytical mind was not good. I found out later that his analytical mind was. I have my pipe question, right? I did the pipe question, and then I realized that he was not able to think through that. So then I had to let him go. He was honest. I had another girl who was honest, but and she was high energy. She used to put his mind into everything, but she failed the pipe question. So you need to really find people who are smart and who are intelligent, who are high energy, who are honest with you, who have some kind of loyalty. I'll tell you one thing I did in India and in Pakistan. I said that they should open their own retirement accounts. In America, we call it 401k. They have some other name. I told them to open their accounts and I will contribute to them. In Pakistan, there is 1% tax on all the incoming remittances. So they pay 1% tax and I pay the tax. So I started paying like 10,000 rupees. It's hardly like how much? What? $50? $35. $35. $35. Every month I'm putting in their account. I give them extra just for this purpose. Because my commitment is long term, right? Similarly in India, you can contribute maybe $100 in their 401k account, in retirement account, whatever they call it. So I'm coming with more and more ways to determine what can I do for these 5-6 people so that they understand that my commitment is long term. You see, now I'm really not talking about the formula. I'm just talking about how to hire the right person, because this is all about that. In America, in every business, even if you run an Uber, you can make $6,000-7,000 a month. That's $85,000 a year. Pretty much every business, in every business, you can do that. But after that, there is a scalability issue. If you start cleaning pools or start to, you'll make money through it. But in cleaning pools, you need the person here, right? So that won't work. So you need to, but I'm just saying, in every business, you can do that. Insurance agents, yeah, they all make money. There are so many businesses. Medical billing. I can like make a list of this. You can ask ChatGPT too. You can tell them that businesses which are service based where license is not required, they will give you a list, and they can be done from pretty much remotely. That's the whole idea, right? Because you can outsource the process, right? So it's all about finding that right person. I made a lot of videos for freelancers in Pakistan and India, how they can behave better. And I have also made a lot of videos, but you don't have to watch those. You just watch this. And if you have specific questions, you ask right here in the comments and I'll answer. Because you cannot watch 1,200 videos. I just make videos. Sorry, my YouTube channel is my passion. It's my thing. I love it. I love to talk about it. But the main idea why I do that is because it makes me learn. It is a learning experience for me. So I'm doing it for myself. Sorry, my focus is not really, I cannot be very audience focused. 1,200 videos. I wish I could compress them into 40-50 videos. By the way, started a project under the same, my main guy. I asked him, I need this project delivered. I want him to get this all these videos written using Notebook LM, and then I will ask. My plan is to, identify 50 videos that I can make, and then those will be really small. Those will be really compressed, and message will be crystal clear, and there'll be crisp videos. I'll make it sometime. Maybe, I don't know. It takes time. This is a secondary project, right, for my team, because there are a lot of critical issues coming every single day, and they handle that, right? By the way, critical issues, insurance agent, my claim got denied. They can handle it from India. I'm yet to sort the licensing issue and yet to sort this thing issue in insurance agency. So it's not fully scalable as yet. But But I'm just telling you that possibility wise, and you can get an idea what is possible to be outsourced. So find outsourceable business. Yeah, found outsourceable business for which ownership has to be here. In OPT CPT, the ownership has to be here. That's how many businesses are made. That's how many regulations are made for many businesses. That's how the regulations are made. Yep. This is another thing. You can ask, when you ask the ChatGPT what businesses, give me ID list of businesses that maintenance, give this criteria as well. See, look, it's coming the 51st minute, whereas I was talking about this. I am not really going to write the script and do it properly. I don't have time. I do it for fun. I do it for my own learning, and I'm learning. And thank you, if you're learning too. But and if you feel, but sorry, even you don't have time. I know that. Nobody has time in America. How can they have? They have Bakasur problem. They have Atma problem. They have PDK problem. Activity, right? Activity, family, and school, right? PDK of SAF problem. So it's all about finding that guy. And even I'm becoming more clearer. So there is a Rajiv Talreja video that changed my life. He talks about, I don't know whether you should watch it or not. I made a reaction of that video a long time back. So that changed my life. He told me like I need to find high energy people. Um, I am working on the formulas to find multiple high energy people. For example, get PMP certified people in Pakistan, PMP certified people in India. See, good thing with Pakistan is people are honest. Bad thing with Pakistan is they have freelance mentality. They are immature. They don't have the permanent job mentality. They don't understand they don't have proper business sense also. They're too emotional. Like I can tell you one incident. I had 10 people and I didn't like one guy, let him go. Then he also told four other people to leave. They were all jobless. They prefer to go jobless rather than find a way to do something about. Yeah, four people left for no reason. Yeah, one guy was not performing well. We told him that this is not the way to work. So they're immature. But then they were all 22, 23 years of age. Now in my formula, that's why I add the age. They should be 32 plus. Make sure you check that. You find a confirmed way. I told you already that they can fudge documents of Pakistan, they can fudge documents of India, and so they'll present it to you. You should be having a, like, if there is a central government database, you should be able to get a thing from there. I know that in America it's e-verified, and there are so many other places, background check. You can get a credit report pulled. I think even in India they have CIBIL records. I'm sure there must be in Pakistan also. You can pull the credit score, so you should be able to get that. Right? They won't fudge documents in front of the banks and all there. So you can get their bank records or something, right? You can go to their website. You can ask. Yeah, in India, yeah, but in America you cannot do so many things. In India, you can do something very interesting. Tell them, share your screen, show me your bank. If they don't do it, let them go. Thank you. Get those 10 people ready to show, and then you see, because you need to determine whether they're really that age. Whether so you basically, I check the bank statements of a lot of people. I check the bank statements of a lot of people, right? So the bank statements were, you ask them to share their screen. So I have MS Teams also, by the way, for meetings. So one more tool that I use. I have Google Workforce also for easy access. I have a Google Drive also for storage, and that is on my, and that I use Google Workforce for that. Google Workforce is for all the logins of Notion and Slack. I use Google Workforce. Yeah, it's much easier. Otherwise, life will be hell. Your technical guy should be able to enable or disable the access, right? So I have three layers of this thing: me, ownership, then there is an administrator. I used to be the administrator, then there was two layers, right? Administrator and then the user, right? So owner is bigger than administrator, administrator is owner bigger than user. So three layer, you need to always think in terms of three layers of access. If you want me to elaborate on this idea one day, I'll let you know, but for now I think it's not important, right? Your life will be hell if you try to control everything. I made a video about privacy because I share so many things of mine. I wanted to watch. I hired some guy here in America as an experiment, and I wanted to watch. That guy used to come to my home every single day to work in the basement. and I put a camera there inside my home and gave the access to my technical guy in India to watch him. One option is I watch him, but then who will do the sales that I'm supposed to make? By the way, I don't do sales anymore. I do other things. I mentioned I manage critical issues, and I do so many other things. And I'm thinking where to go from here. That's the next formula I'm working on. 5 million plus year per year profit. I'm very far from it. I don't know what to do. That's why these making these videos help me decipher what I've achieved, what am I doing, get my hands around everything that I'm doing, better model it, better understand it, see it from different perspectives, the same thing that I'm doing, and I'm getting much clearer picture where I am, where am I standing, what have I achieved, and I've taken a lot of decisions on after making the videos, and I can directly relate it to my video making, and now in many cases I get insights into what can be done beyond this. I run a small charity organization also on the side, again virtual. I'm not going to do anything on the, I call it hardware, physical presence. I call it hardware. I don't want any hardware based business, but basically it's physical presence based business. It's just a name I use. So I don't like physical presence based businesses, right? So I created a MuleSoft training, free MuleSoft training course, and gave it to people. And the girls who are teaching, they are all very needy girls in India. And then they teach it for free to the students. And the students get jobs. They apply for jobs. They help them find the jobs in India. And what do we get in return? Nothing. Zero money. They never come and work for us. We told them that there is no such requirement. They should never worry about it. And we don't, in general, we don't offer jobs also. It's not like we don't offer jobs in India anyway. So they should not. We offer BDM jobs. I'm talking business development manager jobs, not the MuleSoft jobs, not the technical jobs, right? We need a technical person to do the business development manager. I hope you got that part. So yeah, we done that. I've successfully placed my charity organization has successfully placed, if not more, at least 20 people. It's a lot for us. And we have trained almost 150. Yes. So I do that on the side to enrich my soul. What to do next? I'm experimenting a lot to determine what I can do to start making $5 million per year. What is the formula to crack that? So in that, I'm doing an experimentation by getting people, here in this country, in America. I hire people in America for sales. This is one of the formula. That's why I remember I told you I did an experiment. I had a guy here, and my guy in India was watching. Yeah, I guess the whole formula is over. I don't know what I'm gonna talk about now, because if something is missing, then it's missing. I'll try to make a part two and try to collect the things that I see. The thing is, there is no way for me to collect the things. I I can write it somewhere, but then it forgets. So this is the formula, guys. Follow it and let's see whether it works for you. Okay. Thank you, guys.